Welcome to Poetically Creative Mind podcast hosted by me, BM the Poet. This podcast is for people with a creative mind who need a little inspiration. I will be interviewing everyday people with creative minds, doing original poetry for myself and others, having inspirational conversation, and more. This podcast will be available wherever you get your podcast from. Before we get started with today's episode, I would like to apologize. I have some feedback issues during this episode, and I hope that doesn't deter you from listening and enjoying the content because it's some great content. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy. My next guest is an author, poet, and master life coach. After battling through homelessness, incarceration, abandonment, and a lifestyle of gangs and drugs, he found God, which inspired him to write his first poetry book, Thoughts of Art at War. With a pay-it-forward mentality, he hopes to inspire people to understand their spiritual connection with God, as well as give readers a look into the man in the mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you, Kjell Sealy. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing pretty grand. I really can't complain. Can't complain at all.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. You know, I woke up, so that's always a start to a great day as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. That's always a good thing to wake up in the morning praising God.
Definitely. So for the people that don't know much about you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. My name is Kjell Sealy. I'm a father of 6, 2 granddaughters. I've been married 16 years to my beautiful wife. I am a writer and now the author of Thoughts of Art at War.
Okay. So what inspired you to write Thoughts, Arts of War?
Well, writing has always been a part of my life. I've been holding this poem book since like 2004, and I've just now decided to get it out. So it's like God was pushing me. Hey, you need to get this out. You need to tell people about me and what I've done for you. And so after that, I just kind of got with my niece, and she was like, hey, send me your information so I can get this book out. And I was like, okay. So I sent it out, and there it is.
Yeah. So you say that you've been holding on to it since 2004 and you had to get it out. So what was the moment that you decided that this was the right time for you?
When you start, I can say that when God started pushing you, when he started bringing, thoughts in your head like, hey, what about this book? What about your poetry? And I just kept writing. Every time I'm always writing poetry, and I'm always writing about him. And so it's like, we need to get this book out. And he had other people in my life that was pushing me. Hey, what about this book? What about your book? And so that's when I knew it was like, okay, Lord, it's time. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. He kept pushing until you finally decided to follow through.
Exactly. Either that or it's going to go to waste, and we don't want no talent going to waste, especially something that he has given us, So
yeah, he sent it to you for a specific purpose.
Yes.
It just took you find the right time in your life really to be ready to present it to us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So give us a little insight into what your poetry and the book is all about.
The inside of my poetry is basically about what God has done for me in my life, the trials and tribulations that I've been through, and the kind of like the encounters that I had from not only from death, from situations, jobs, and whatnots like that. And it's just how God brought me through and how he was able to continue to keep me afloat. And especially after being raised, with nobody, with no support or anything like that, but he was always there. He always had a ram in the bush for me. And that was the recognition that to him, it's like, okay, Lord, this is all you, nobody else.
Yeah. When you struggle and there's no one there for you, it seems like there's nothing left for you to keep pushing towards. So with your poetry inspiring you so much, how has it helped to inspire others?
It helped inspire others by, when they read it and they see that, what I've been through, and they see some life changes that they've been through as well inside the poetry. And it's almost like, man, okay, I see what he's been through, so I shouldn't have no complaints about me going through anything, especially after hearing my testimony or even sharing my testimony. It's almost like, okay, well, I know if he can do it, I know I can do it.
Yeah. It gives you that confidence to know that any obstacle is still able to be faced, regardless of how tough it's been, that somebody else has probably been through a similar situation.
Exactly.
Again, like I said, that's one thing I love about poetry. It can touch people in so many different ways.
That's right.
They may not know that somebody else is going through something similar to them, and that there's always hope as long as you keep fighting and want to fight.
That's right. I mean, especially like, when your life has, already been a living hell. And, if you believe that your story can help somebody else, by them seeing you smiling and being happy. And then after hearing, a great conversation from you. So it's almost like, man, okay. I think that's what really kind of kicks it in. So it's like, man, so it's almost like with us that's been through this lifestyle, it's almost like a pay it forward mindset. That's
Yeah,
pretty much what it is, So it's like, it's not all about us all the time because there's
yeah,
somebody else that's on life support, So it's like, man, they need help. So,
yeah. Because once you've survived the situation and are able to tell and help others, that can make situations a bit easier for them to face and get through. So the title of your book, Thoughts of the Art of War, what inspired that title to go with your poetry?
because, well, basically, that's what we're dealing with. It starts with the mind first. That's where the thought process comes from. That kind of like creates the decisions that we make in life. And
Mm,
it's almost like if you have a thought, either it's going to be negative or it's going to be positive, especially when it comes to the outcome. And so the enemy, he wants the mind. He always wants it to go in a negative direction. So
yeah,
when you're steady fighting to do the right thing, that's basically what I got it from. And also when I was reading the word of God in Ephesians, chapter 6, that's where the armor comes in on. We have to protect our mind. And if we don't protect our mind, it's a terrible thing to waste. It's going to hurt us in the end.
yeah.
And that's where it comes up at. I was like, okay.
Definitely, the mind is more powerful than we even realize.
Mm-hmm. That's
Has
right.
such an effect on our physical and mental health.
Yes. Mental war zone right there is the battlefield is in the mind. Right there.
Every day. You
It's all
know,
about decisions, right?
if say everything we do is a decision, even though it may not seem like it.
That's right.
You have
Indeed.
to make sense about everything you do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, with this book, do you plan on making this a series of books of poetry, or is this going to be your one and only?
No, it's going to be more. My next book that I'm writing on, my poetry book, is going to be titled "The Battle Within," and it's just going to be dealing with the same thing, but it's going to be going further into situations far wise as marriage, and things of that nature. There, of what we deal with on an everyday life crisis, and then there's going to be an actual book that I'm gonna be writing about my life as well too. From abandonment, from incarceration, from drugs, and things of that nature. There, that's really going to be the life exposure because it's
Yeah.
all about the testimony. That's what it's all about. It's all about the testimony of what God has done for you. That's all it is.
a lot of those situations that you had to deal with, many people have to deal with different aspects of those, but to have to deal with all of those things at one time, it can definitely break your spirit and make you not want to push through and succeed.
Right.
I'm blessed that you're here to join us and share your experiences and your stories.
Appreciate it.
There's definitely plenty of people out there have been in your situation
Yes.
and just don't understand that there's still hope.
Yes, sir,
There's,
it is.
and you are a living example of it.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you. I like the way you talk about paying it forward mindset.
Mm-hmm. We have to help those, man. Somebody's out there that's somebody out there that want that. I'm sorry. There's somebody out there that has the same story, but do not know how to get it out there because of resources or somebody who they can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another challenging, thoughts of art at war. So it's almost like, who can I talk to? If I tell this person, will they use it against me? Or will they tell everybody, my business? So it's a battle. It's a battle always. It's a constant battle when I'm mine.
Being able to, like I say, share what you've experienced is a blessing in itself. And to be
Mm-hmm.
comfortable enough to do that.
That's
Some
where it
people,
is.
yeah, a lot of people are ashamed of their stories because they just think that people will judge them, which is definitely a possibility. But the help that you can receive or give from that can outweigh the negativity.
Correct. That is so true. Whether you do good or right, I mean, whether you do right or wrong, somebody's gonna talk about you anyway, right?
If you're doing nothing, they're gonna talk about that too. So
Exactly. Oh man.
might as well give them something, do positive, and whether they talking good or bad, you know that you're doing what you can.
Exactly. I think the main part about that too is when you're telling your side of the story, you are already exploiting yourself. So whoever comes behind you and try to tell on you or tell them what you did, it's already out there. So you're not ashamed anymore when it comes back to you.
Yeah,
So that's all it is too. So
all about accepting your flaws,
mm-hmm.
your faults, your imperfections, because
Yes,
nobody's perfect, and so many people want to be that, and it just breaks them down because it's an impossible task to do that.
that's right. Every day is a different chapter as I look at it. Every day, a different
Not
page
living,
in your story.
yeah. This is not Groundhog's Day.
Mm-mm.
Days
It's
will
really
change.
not. I really just give credit to a lot of people who's out there that does, poetry, that does memoirs, that's telling their life because they want to help somebody and they are comfortable with how they was raised because they're not the same person anymore. They've
Mhm.
changed, so I definitely give kudos to the writers in that area, the authors. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to show that and see that.
Yeah, because I'm like you. I've had been writing poetry for years and just sat on it, and I guess I just wasn't ready to share my story.
Right.
You know, hadn't fully accepted a lot of things that I dealt with and still are dealing with.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But once you see that it actually, even if it's just one person that you talk to that it helped or they read something and it helped them,
Mm-hmm.
that's all you really can ask for.
That is
And
what it is. That's true.
it helped you as well, which is you're a person that is helping as well.
Indeed.
So
Appreciate it. We all are, especially when there's no father figure in the household to teach you or raise you how to be a man, or there's no mother love, as you're getting older or you grow older to teach you how to respect women, so you learn all these things as you get older, as this is how I don't want to be. And so you
yeah.
reverse your living and you reverse the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, and it goes back to the mindset. This is good. This is reality.
So is there any poems in your book that you have found to be your favorites, or ones that have a poem that has drawn you in personally?
Yes, I mean, pretty much, I'm going to say a lot of them, but the main ones that I find as really eye catchers, or really, I'm going to say all of them, but there's two of them that really stands out that I've written and been like, man, I wrote this, So, and there's one called Eyes Blind Open, and there was another one called Free at Last. And it's just those two there really encouraged me, basically, because it's like we see, we don't see, we don't want to talk about the positive in our life. We want to continue to let the negative, overcast our life, or we just don't want to see that, how we live in our life is based on our decisions.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like what it is as well.
So would you like to share either one of those poems with us today?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Oh, that would be awesome.
This one here is called Eyes Blind Open. We see what we imitate, like a child being a sponge. They don't investigate. Their curiosity is open like a shark in the water. Then you wonder why these streets are being taken over by our sons and daughters. Love at home is like a cemetery, stuck with dry bones. No life to live, no more instructions, so I write my own. Tell a lie vision got us hating everything God has created. My circle thickens with debaters and self-made haters. Open-minded to keep you held down, blinded to see that we are responsible for our expedition and now. We all living at the bottom of a burrow trying to break through concrete. That small voice keep repeating, don't you dare declare defeat. We shake the hand of the enemy. Who could that be? Look in the mirror and ask yourself, is there a problem with me? We were born to turn a page in this book we read. Do not be the opposite of love if you do not care to believe. Our voices carry like a microphone into the crowd. Make sure that we have it on and there's plenty of power when we're speaking out loud. If you cannot see tomorrow, do not reflect on the past. And if you want to see the future, let God hold your hand. It is a reason vision stays with us from youth, because our eyes blind open when we face the truth. Eyes blind open.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely feeling that one. Yeah, we definitely in a society where a lot of people walk around like that.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Let our kids do what they want to do because we want to be their friend. We don't want them mad at us.
Well, my kids are not that.
Exactly.
Right now, I'm your father.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
We will get there, but right now, I'm here to teach you.
Give you the pros and cons, any decisions that you make, and hoping that I can show you the right way. That's it.
Yeah.
What they went through, we've already been there. We've been there already.
That's why I tell my sons, I say, I'm going to help y'all with y'all decisions, but I'm not going to make them for you.
That's right.
It's going to be up to you to make your decisions, but I'm going to do my best to give you the guidance to make all the proper ones.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Hope that when they do go off to college or go get a job, they can be able to reflect on what we told them, and then we can come back at the round table and talk about it, and that's what it's all about. Just keeping community conversation with them. So
yeah, free at last. It's something that I guess is going to be something that people fight for forever.
that's right.
A lot of people lock themselves in mental prisons and don't know how to find their way out.
That's right. And that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to get the word out, hoping that they can understand to free their own minds. That's all it is. You just need that connection or that right person to give them the resources. So the proper instructions, man, how to get out.
Hey.
Changing the mindset and change your environment.
Yeah, and it starts with the mind first, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Because once you have a want in that head of yours, there's nothing gonna stop you.
That's right.
So yeah, we are here to inspire those who need it and help the ones that's pushing keep pushing.
That's right. This is good. I definitely appreciate you, man. This is really awesome.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story and your work. It's nothing like hearing from authors themselves what they've experienced and what their words mean to them, because that may touch someone more knowing where your words truly come from.
Exactly.
So I would definitely like to thank you for coming on. Is any words you have for the people?
I will say this here is that, and we talked about this earlier, we're alive. We woke up the next day, we're breathing. So we definitely have to give thanks in that area. And when you wake up, you have to know that God is not finished with you. It is only the beginning. And when you begin to taste your reality, then your dreams will never satisfy your hunger. So what do you do when you're hungry? You eat. You feed that hunger. And that's what it's all about. You feed what's driving your passion. You feed it. And then once you begin to feed your passion, then God will send the right people to help you along the way. And that's what I've learned. It's feed your passion. Feed it.
I love those words. Feed your passion.
Appreciate it.
Again, thank you. Could you give us your social media so we can know whether to purchase the book or check out some of your personal work, or just reach out to you and tell you how much we appreciate what you're doing for us?
Yeah, they can reach me at amazon.com/author/ Kjell G. Sealy. Facebook.com/thoughts with art. And if they want to email me, they can do thoughtswithart@gmail.com.
Okay, there you go, people. Reach out, show your appreciation, check out the book. It'll definitely be worth your time.
Appreciate it very much for having me.
Feed your passion. Well, again, I'd like to thank you for joining us. And once you are ready with your next poetry book and your novel, please let me know, and we will get you back on the show and help people find out more about who you are.
I will definitely do that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good day, and we'll get back with you. Thanks for coming on this journey with me.
Please follow me at BM the Poet on Instagram and BM the Poet on Twitter. Please rate it 5 stars, subscribe, and share. Have a good evening.